What's going on, guys? TTL here. Today I'm going to be going over my top MLB picks for today. Today is July 29th, 2023. Again, thank you guys so much for all the support lately. I really do appreciate it. And before we get started, guys, if you are interested at all in joining the VIP, I highly recommend it. I had so many winning slips yesterday. I'm limited on sleeper now, but I'll go ahead and show you the screenshots. So we cashed our round robin. I had $500 on each one, and I hit for 1,700 on that, 1095 on that, 1,100 on that, and then 1255 on that. This went 3 of 5, unlucky. We got 0.4x on the $300 play on there, but we absolutely killed it, man. We also hit a bankroll builder. A lot of people posted those in the post your win section, but we hit a 5-unit bankroll builder as well. And we just absolutely killed sleeper. We swept it. There's that bankroll builder where I hit, and then I hit another 2-pick as well. That's for a different day. I apologize. I'm not trying to lie. That was for a different day. I guess I didn't post mine yet, but we hit our bankroll builder as well, and I mean, we've been killing it. So if you're interested in that, just join the link in the description and in the comments down below. It is only $20 a month. You get prize picks, underdog, sleeper, as well as sportsbook bets. We do watch parties together, live streams. I have a VIP only chat room, VIP only giveaways, and it's also the best way for you guys to support me. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and do that. I've taken up enough time at the start of the video already. Let's just get into the picks. I might actually just throw in an extra pick too and just do 6 picks instead of 5, just because one of these I'm a little bit iffy on. But let's just go ahead and get into it, and let's go ahead. So I'm going to be using Outlier.bet for my stats today. It's kind of like StatMuse with props.cash, and it's just amazing. You can sign up to this in the description as well as using my link for a free week. But we're going to go ahead and set it to strikeouts. And we can check based off of the probability that it's going to hit, last 5, last 10, last 20, the head-to-head, etc., etc. Awesome little function here. But first of all, I really like Detmers. So we're going to take a look at him. He's versus Toronto today, who are ranked 7th in the league for least amount of strikeouts per game, averaging around 8 strikeouts per game. They had 9 their last game, and they're averaging 8.6 over their last 3. So they're keeping around that 8 or 9 strikeout pace. He's at 5 on PrizePicks. I like taking the over here. We can take a look. It's at 5.5 on most sports books. At 4.5, the over is set to minus 210 odds, which is absolutely crazy. He's either pushed or went over 5 strikeouts in 8 of his last 10 games, and he started 18 games this season, and in 15 of those he has went over 5 strikeouts in those games. So that's an 83% of his games this season. This is already at 5.5 on Underdog, so just get this early value on here. Similar to Brian Wu for Seattle, he is at 5.5 on Underdog as well, and on Sleeper. He's at 5 here. He's versus Arizona, who are ranked 3rd, averaging just under 8 strikeouts per game. But when we take a look at Brian Wu as well, he hasn't played too many games this year, but I definitely do like this play. We can take a look at the over 4.5. So to push the 5 line, it's minus 194 odds. For 2023, he's only played 9 games. In 6 of those, he's pushed or went over. In 3 of those, he got stuck at that 4 mark. His last game he played was actually versus Toronto, and he got 7 strikeouts in that game. So I definitely love this today, because he is versus Arizona, but Toronto are just up there with him, averaging just around the same amount of strikeouts per game. And when we take a look as well, we can take a look at the batter stats. They have no stats versus Brian Wu himself, but versus right-handed pitchers, a lot of these batters have a worse K rate than normal. There's only 4 batters in the lineup that have a better K rate versus right-handed pitchers. But definitely love this play. I'm locking this one in as well. And again, it's at 5.5 on Underdog, so I'm just taking the value here on both of these props. I believe both of these will get bumped. Other than that, my top pick of the day actually is Aaron Nola over 6.5 strikeouts. Absolutely love this play versus the Pirates. Aaron Nola has been a monster this year. Over his last 5, he's only cashed in 2 of these. 2 of them were 6 strikeouts in those 2 games, and then 5 games ago he got 4. But over the entirety of the season, he's been killing it. We can take a look. Aaron Nola over 6.5. It's around minus 124, minus 125 odds on the season. Oh man, that actually looks terrible. He's only hit this in 33% of his games this season. 7 of 21. A lot of these games he is getting 4, 5, 6 strikeouts, but definitely doesn't give him a good look. I guess I was just using recency bias over his last 10 games or so, where he's 5 of 10. And in a lot of these games, he has really high not pitch counts, strikeout counts, like 7, 12, 9, 12, 7. And then every time that he missed was very close. He got 6 versus the Brewers, 6 versus the Marlins, 5 versus the Braves, 5 versus the Mets. All of these teams are really good at not striking out. Like we can take a look at the Mets, they're ranked 5th, Miami 6th, Braves are 10th. So it does make sense that he wouldn't go over versus those teams. The Pirates do strike out quite a bit. They are 16th of 30th, middle of the pack at 8.5 strikeouts per game. They're averaging 10 strikeouts over their last 3, and they had 13 strikeouts their last game. So using that recency bias, I do love this play. If you, after looking at that 2023, I do understand if you're a little iffy on this and you don't want to take it. I personally have like $600 on this play. I like it. I'm taking it. I still feel confident in it. But if you would rather just hold off, it may get bumped down even. Who knows? So if you would rather hold off and hope that it gets bumped down to 6, feel free. I'm taking the over here. We can also see the Pirates have only 5 batters that have actually went up against Nola enough to actually have a batter stats over here. But 3 of those 5 have a really bad. Like Reynolds has gone up against him in 9 at-bats and has a 56% K rate. Hedges has a 5 at-bats against him with a 33% K rate. And then McCutcheon has a 22% K rate versus him. Versus right-handed pitchers, it's kind of mixed. A lot of them are under, but a lot of them are higher K rates. So it's really hard to tell. But again, versus Nola, a lot of them do K at a pretty decent rate. So we'll see how that one turns out. Again, after looking at the 2023 stats, if you would rather fade this one, feel free. I personally love it. I also really love Quinn Priester over 4 on the opposite end of that game. So the only reason I like this, it is 3.5 on Sleeper. If you would rather take it on Sleeper, do so. Underdog does not have a line for his strikeouts quite yet. But I do love this play. Philadelphia is 25th of 30th in the league, averaging over 9 strikeouts per game. They had 12 strikeouts their last game, and 4 is just such a low number. So we can take a look at over 3.5. It's minus 128 odds. He's only played 2 games this season. 1 game versus the Padres, he got 4. 1 game versus the Guardians, he got 2, and they actually got 11 runs. So yeah, that's rough. The Padres ended up getting 4 runs, and I don't know how many were on him or not. But we'll find out, I guess. But we can take a look. Cleveland is literally number 1 in the league for least amount of strikeouts, and then their other game versus the Padres, they are ranked 12th. So when you take a look at the Philadelphia Phillies compared to the San Diego Padres, they just strike out so much more. Like they're in the bottom 5 teams in striking out per game. So definitely love this play. There's not much of a sample size, so it's a little bit iffy. I do rather this on Sleeper where it's 3.5, but I still like it at 4. There's just some added push potential. Next, I have Bailey Ober versus the Kansas City Royals at 5 strikeouts. Kansas City is 19th of 30th. They're ranked. They're having around 9 strikeouts per game on the season. And when we take a look, we can see that he is at over 4.5. It's minus 186 odds. He's pushed or went over in 8 out of his last 10 games and in 75%, which is 12 of 16 games this season. great spot for him. He should cover this pretty easily, and I'm locking this one in with confidence as well. And last but not least, I have Tyler Wells over 4.5 strikeouts versus the Yankees. He did let me down last game that I took him, which is versus the Dodgers. But I do trust him today. He is versus the Yankees, who are middle of the pack, I believe. They're actually in the higher end. They're 8th in the league, averaging 8 strikeouts per game. But Tyler Wells is a good pitcher, and at 4.5, I still like this. It's at around minus 140, minus 143 odds. For 2023, he's gone over this in 63% of his games, which is 12 of 19 games that he started. So I do love this play as well. And those are the 6 picks that I'm locking in today on a 6-pick play. Feel free to mix and match whatever you would like. Again, Detmers and Wu will probably get bumped. They're 5.5 on Underdog already. Nola, we saw his 2023 stats. This is more of a recency bias sort of play. Priester, not much data, but I do like the play. Ober, I absolutely love. Wells, I absolutely love. So if you have any questions in the comments, any questions about what 2 picks you would rather take, and if it's still a good pairing, feel free. If any of these get bumped, feel free to ask about that as well. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you tell any of the plays, and leave a comment down below. I'll see you in the next video.